Hello everyone, today we are going to study production function and its types. But before discussing production function and its types, it is very important to know what is production and lot of topics which is related to production. So first topic, meaning of production. I mean to say I'm going to explain what is production, concept of production. Production in economics means all those activities that have to do with the creation of commodities by imparting to raw materials utility, value, addition, or the ability to satisfy human wants. Production is the method of turning raw material or inputs into finished goods or product in a manufacturing process. In other words, we can say that production means the creation of something from basic inputs. According to Bates and Parkinson, production is the organized activity of transforming resources into finished goods, the form of goods and services. The objective of production is to satisfy the demand for such transformed resources. I want to say that production is a process of converting raw materials to finished goods. It involves a number of factors to be able to produce the goods and services that cater to our needs. Production means the development and creation of goods and services using resources to stimulate exchange. Production is the physical output of a manufacturing or service company. Production involves three processes: raw material, work in process, and finished goods. Three processes: raw material, work in process, and finished goods. Okay? And according to A.J. Brown, production includes any activity and the provision of any services which satisfies or is expected to satisfy a want. Okay? So we can say that in simple words, like a production is the process of converting input into output. Okay? Production is the process of converting raw material into finished goods. Okay? So now I'm going to explain characteristics of production. So characteristics, I mean to say only those goods or services will be included in production which possess following characteristics. Otherwise, it's not production. So, which characteristics is necessary to say the production? Okay, these goods and services should be created by human labor and capital is production. And these goods and services should be capable of satisfying human wants directly or indirectly. Economic value means these goods and services should have some economic value. Otherwise, it's not production. And monetary value means these goods and services should have some economic value and should have a certain monetary price or cost. Monetary value means should have a certain monetary price or cost. Okay? But important point, it is very important to know that domestic services, voluntary services and production for self-consumption are not included in production. So first question is, What is domestic services? Because I am saying domestic services are not included in production. Like domestic services are not included in production because these services don't have an economic value. And for saying production, economic values is necessary. For example, cooking of food, I mean to say cooking of food by a housewife for her family, and nursing of a child by his mother, and teaching of a child by his parents are not the productive activity. Why? Because but if the same lady renders her service in hospital, or if the same man is a teacher in a school, these will be the productive activities. But mother, because mother sees nursing her child, and cooking of food by a housewife for her family, not a part of production. Voluntary services means services performed by a charitable organizations. Okay, services performed by charitable organizations or individuals as a duty towards society are not included in production, mainly because they don't have an economic value. For example, the services of a doctor in a charitable camp don't form a part of production. Doctor work in a clinic is a part of production. Okay, but doctor in a charitable camp don't form a part of production. But I am saying the services of the same doctor in his clinic form a part of production. Charitable work is not a part of production. Okay, and production for self consumption means, I mean to say, if a part of production is retained by the producer of his self consumption, it doesn't form a part of production. For example, farmers retain a certain part of food grains produced by them for their self consumption. Similarly, production of vegetables in kitchen garden doesn't go to the market for sale, and hence don't form a part of production. So I want to explain that domestic services, voluntary services, and production for self consumption are not included in production. Okay, for saying production created by human labor and capital, and satisfying human wants directly or indirectly, both. Okay, and economic value and monetary value are necessary for saying production. Okay, so now I am going to explain importance of production. What is the benefit of production for our country? Okay, so all economic activities are revolving around production. It is an important economic activity. Production makes the best utilization of all the natural, physical, and human resources available in a country. Importance of production can be explained as follows, like a basis of satisfying human wants. Okay, production. Why production is important? Because it is basis of satisfying human wants. I mean to say production creates various goods and services which satisfying human wants. The fact is the production is the base of consumption and investment. Next, importance, which I want to go for discussion, increase in the source of income. Okay, increase in the source of income means increase in employment opportunities and expansion of economic activities, open new sources of income. It increases the purchasing power of individuals and prepares the base of their economic prosperity. Next important point, increase in employment opportunities. That means production helps in increasing employment opportunities. New factories are established, existing factories are expanded, and new economic plans and programs are implemented. All this increases employment opportunities in the country. That is the important point. Okay, so next point which I want to discuss with you, basis of industrial and economical progress of country. So production determines the standard of living. Production increases gross national product, net national product, and national income. Actually, the level of production prepares the base of measuring and comparing industrial and economic progress of a country. Countries producing large amount of goods and services are called rich and developed countries of the world. Okay, so production provides a basis of industrial and economical progress of country. Next important point, basis of improvement in standard of living. Exactly, production improves the standard of living. I mean to say production determines the standard of living. More the production, higher will be the standard of living. All the goods and services of the standard of living are produced by the process of production. And production basis of increase in public finance. Public finance, understand? I mean to say production creates the base of taxation. Public finance means taxation. Production creates the base of taxation. More the production, more will be the tax revenue collected by government. Okay. Public finance, production creates the base of taxation. More the production, more will be the tax revenue collected by government. And last point which I want to discuss with you for the importance of production, encouragement to research and development. Okay, encouragement to research and development means production encourages the development of new methods, new techniques of production. It also encourages the development of new machines and equipments. Now I am going to explain factor of production. But before discussing the factor of production, it is very important to know what is factor of what is factors which is related to production. Factors and related to production. So factors of production in economics are the inputs that are used for producing the final output with the main aim of earning an economic profit. Economic profit. Production is the result of combined efforts of various factors of production. All the goods and services that are helpful in the production of goods and services are called factors of production. For example, a farmer uses a piece of land, seeds, fertilizer, chemicals, water, agricultural implements, etc. to produce something. If any of these resources is not available, production is not possible. Production is possible behalf of these inputs. Otherwise it's not continued. So I am saying a piece of land, seeds, fertilizer, chemicals, water, agricultural implements, etc. to produce something. If any of these resources is not available, production is not possible. Thus, production is possible only when all the factors of production such as land, labor, capital, organization, and entrepreneurship are combined. I mean to say land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur are the main factor of production. So, I will explain main factor of production like land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Sure. So, first factor which I am going to explain, land. In general, land means the surface of land. But in economics, land means all the natural resources used in production process. The surface of land, fields, hills, sun, rain, water resources, mines and minerals, etc. all are included in land. I mean to say only the surface is not a part of land, but all the natural resources like hills, sun, rain, water resources all are included in land. Land is the gift of nature and includes the dry surface of the earth and the natural resources on or under the earth's surface such as forests, rivers, sunlight, etc. And second important factor of production is labor. Labor means labor is the physical and mental efforts of human being that undertake the production process. It includes unskilled, semi-skilled and highly skilled labor. Labor means all the human efforts which are undertaken with an expectation of reward. It includes all the physical and mental efforts. Now I am going to third factor of production, capital. Capital is that part of wealth which is used in the production of goods and services. Capital may be in the form of cash, machines, raw materials, minerals, roads and railway, dam and bridges, etc. I mean to say capital is the wealth created by human being. Capital is the wealth created by human being. Capital as a factor of production is divided into two parts, namely physical capital and human capital. That means what is the difference between physical capital and human capital? Physical capital includes tangible resources. Tangible resources such as buildings. You can touch. Tangible resources such as buildings, machines, tools and equipment, etc. Human capital includes knowledge and skills. Knowledge and skills of human resource which is gained by education, training and experience. Okay, lastly I want to discuss entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, that means it is the skill of organizing and directing various productive resources so as to enable the productive activities and to commercialize the output with risk. An entrepreneur organizes and collects various factors of production, coordinates their functions, directs and motivates their activities, and bears all the business risk and uncertainties. He may not invest capital himself but will show the quality to organize the productive resources to create something of value for the society out of the scarce resources. I mean to say his idea of business may not be successful always and thus uncertainty remains there which possesses the risk. Entrepreneurship is the skill of enterprising to innovate or commercialize the innovation in order to meet the need of society with a profit motive. I mean to say entrepreneurship consists of three major functions: coordination, management, and supervision. Okay, three major function: coordination, management, and supervision. An entrepreneur is a person who creates an enterprise. The success or failure depends on the efficiency of the entrepreneur. Okay, so these are the important factor: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And these are the important factors of production. So now I will discuss meaning of production function, because I have covered lot of topics which is related to production. I mean to say concept of production and characteristics of production, importance of production, and factors of production. So now I will discuss production function. So production function, I mean to say, it is a well-known fact that the production of a commodity is the outcome of combined efforts of various factors of production, and the quantity of production depends directly upon the quantity of the factors. Exactly, the commodity to be produced is called output, and the factors of production used in the production of that commodity are called inputs. Thus inputs produce output. Okay, it's confirmed. So inputs produce output. Production function analyzes the relationship between inputs and output. Production function means functional relationship between physical inputs and physical output of a firm. It indicates maximum rate of output that can be obtained from different combination of productive factors during a certain period of time and for a given state of technical knowledge and managerial ability. According to Professor George J. Strigler, production function is the relationship between inputs of productive services per unit of time and output of product per unit of time. So, production function refers to the functional relationship between the quantity of goods produced, output, and factors of production means inputs. Functional relationship between input and output. Now I am going to discuss characteristics of production function. Characteristics of production function, I mean to say, it represents a technical relationship between physical input and physical output. First of all, I want to say that production function establishes relationship between physical quantities of output and inputs. And it represents a technical relationship between physical input and physical output. It states the maximum quantity of output that can be produced from given quantities of input. Determination of production function is an engineering problem. Engineering problem, I mean to say, it is not an economical problem. It is an engineering problem. Okay. Production function is totally independent of the price of product and also of the price of factors of production. Yet, these prices affect the decisions of a firm to produce a particular commodity in a particular quantity. Next characteristics. Production function, like the demand function, is considered always with reference to a particular period of time. Particular period of time, it explains only a static situation. Production function should be considered with reference to a particular period of time. It explains only a static situation. Next important point, it can be represented in various forms like by tables, by equations, by total, average and marginal product curves, by isoquant. And next important point, the state of technical knowledge is assumed to be given and constant. Divisibility or indivisibility of the factor should be taken into account in determining the production function of a firm. For example, a firm cannot employ less than a whole man or a whole machine. I'm also remembering one important point, like inputs can easily be substituted for one another within a function. Inputs can easily be substituted for one another within a function. For example, it is assumed that in a production process, capital can be substituted for labor. And one kind of capital can be substituted for another. And one kind of labor can be substituted for another. Okay, so now I am going to discuss last topic of this video, types of production function. Types of production function. Why we are discussing types of production function? Because there are different types of production function that can be classified according to the degree of substitutions of one input by the other. So it is very necessary to know types of production function. I will discuss with you short run and long run production function. What is the main difference between short run and long run production function? In short run, only the variable factor of production can be changed. While in long run, all the variable and fixed factors of production can be changed. Variable factor varies according to production. Fixed factors can't change. Fixed factors always fixed. Production increases or decreases. Fixed factors cannot be changed. But variable factors vary according to the production. Variable cost like rent of the house, wages, salary for the employee, and insurance premium, that is the variable cost, which is generated behalf of variable factors. But fixed factors like permanent salary of manager, because it is a permanent. So in short run, only the variable factors of production can be changed, while in long run, all the variable and fixed factors of production can be changed. Short run production function explain the relationship between inputs and output, when only the variable factor of production can be changed. Long run production function explains the relationship between input and output, when all the factors of production can be changed. So Types of production function is two types, short run and long run. Short run, only the variable factors of production can be changed. Long run, all the variable and fixed factors of production can be changed because it have a long time. You have a long time as a producer. You can change everything which you think. Okay, so it is clear. And short run and long run explained by me. Now it's covered. I have covered a lot of topics which is related to production and production function. So thank you all.